Hey, welcome to my test kitchen. Today, my team and I are working with lentils, which just so happen to be one of my all-time favorite ingredients to cook with. And not just because they're so easy to cook with, I mean, they really are easy to cook with, and not just because they're so tasty. I mean, they taste awesome when you're done cooking with them, but maybe because they're also wildly healthy for you. In fact, lentils are one of the single healthiest foods you can eat. These little seeds are nutritional powerhouses. They are just packed full of dense nutrition. They're full of micronutrients. They're full of minerals. They're full of things like zinc and iron and beta carotene. They're full of selenium. And frankly, I have no idea what selenium is, but I do know that it's really good for you. They're full of folates, which are very good if you happen to be pregnant, which I'm not, but I actually do know somebody who is. The bottom line, they're really, really healthy for you. And not just that though, in fact, right here in Canada, we grow the world's best lentils. Last summer, I had a chance to jet out to the prairies and visit a lentil farm and hang out with some lentil farmers, and I learned a lot. In fact, for me, that's one of the best ways to approach cooking. When you understand those stories behind your ingredients, it makes you a better cook. So if you're into that sort of thing, well, check out the videos we shot. They're here on the site somewhere. Just click on them. I don't know, they're above me or next to me. They're here somewhere though. Check out the videos we shot out on the lentil farms. But for now, Lentils 101. First of all, here's what to look for at your supermarket when you're actually buying lentils. There are four basic sort of mainstream lentil types. There's standard green lentils, there's what we call black lentils, or sometimes they're known as beluga lentils, mainly because they're small, black, and kind of look like caviar. There's red lentils, and there's also what we call French lentils or Depuis lentils. And these are a little bit harder to find, but a good supermarket will have these as well. Guaranteed, though, your supermarket will have green lentils. No worries. And when you're buying them, just have a quick look at them. They should be clean. They should have a uniform size to them. They should be relatively bright in color. The skin should not be wrinkled. Bottom line, they should just look good. It's very easy to buy lentils. It's also easy to cook them. Frankly, I wish everything I cooked in this kitchen was as easy to cook as lentils, because really you only have to remember one basic thing. For every 1 part lentils, you add 3 parts water. It really couldn't be any simpler. 1 part lentils, 3 parts water. And that's it. Although there are 2 other things you have to remember. The first one's easy. Salt. And I find that for 1 cup of lentils and the 3 cups of water that you add to the 1 cup of lentils, 1/2 teaspoon of salt seasons the works perfectly. And last but not least, this one's easy. Don't forget the heat. Now at this point, all you have to do is bring the water to a slow, steady simmer and continue cooking until the lentils are tender. Very straightforward process. It usually takes about 30 minutes or so. And the best way to know whether they're done or not is quite simply to taste them. Now, obviously these aren't done, but since this is a test kitchen and all, this batch is done. Check it out. Several things happen. First of all, they change color. Secondly, they get tender. Some of them may actually overcook a little bit and get a tiny bit mushy, but no big deal. They still taste amazing. And this is what I love so much about lentils. I can't get enough of this flavor. It's earthy, it's meaty at the same time. There's just this natural goodness to it. The basic method for cooking lentils really is this simple. It's easy to master, and once you've got it down, no worries getting them on the table at least once a week, and certainly no problem adding lentils to lots of other recipes. And there's plenty of those recipes on this site as well. Just click on them. For now, though, there are 2 other things to consider when you're cooking lentils. First of all, there's a really easy way to just speed this up. Here's how. With a can opener and a can of lentils. This is a great convenience product. You can find these in your supermarket as well. And really the only thing to remember here, open them and give them a good rinse. When you rinse canned legumes, canned lentils, or any other canned pulses or beans, you rinse off a whole bunch of salt, and that's a great idea. But you don't rinse away any nutrients. All the good stuff stays behind. The fiber, the micronutrients, everything stays behind. Canned lentils, also a great choice. Here's something though that's not a good choice. Anything acidic. Tomatoes of any kind, fresh or canned, any kind of vinegar, citrus, lemon, lime, orange, none of that should be added to the lentils while they cook. Because if you do, the acidic elements here toughen the skin of the lentils and they will never tenderize. In fact, this pot right here has been simmering for a couple of hours. These lentils have tomatoes in with them. They're still tough. Now, the funny thing is that acid, things like tomatoes, vinegars, actually taste really good in lentils, but add them at the end. Here's what I mean. Because anytime you cook lentils, adding just a splash of vinegar, let's call this a teaspoon, and stirring it in, adds incredible brightness to the flavor. They certainly don't taste sour, but there's just something about that last second finishing touch of vinegar or sourness that just brightens up lentils. Cooking lentils is so forgiving. I mean, even if you overcook them, no big deal. They just get a little bit mushy. They're still full of flavor and they're still quite healthy. In fact, here's something really cool you can do with cooked lentils. Puree them. Make a smooth puree. With that puree on standby in your refrigerator, you're poised and ready to stir nutrition and taste into just about anything simmering on your stove. You can stir that puree into any broth, into any stock, into any soup, any stew, any chili, and thicken up the works and add flavor and lots of nutrition. Heck, you can even stir lentil puree right into chocolate chip cookies and your kids will never know, because sometimes what your kids don't know is actually good for them. Now here's another super cool lentil trick. A sprouted lentil has twice as much nutrition in it as a regular lentil. And this is very easy to do. All you have to do is basically add water to it twice a day. Just rinse it a little bit, drain it out through a little bit of screen. I mean, this is so simple. And when you do, you'll be rewarded with this beautiful green, crunchy flavor. It just tastes healthy, and it tastes good too. It tastes green. Perfect for sprinkling on any salad you've got. But of all the things that I can do with lentils, of all the different ways I know how to cook with them, the one dish that shows up on my table more than anything else, the sort of lentil equivalent of mashed potatoes in our world, brown rice and lentils. Too easy. Here's how to make it. Just toss 1 cup of green lentils into your favorite sauce pot. Add a cup of brown rice, 4 cups of water, season the works with 1/2 teaspoon of salt, top with a lid, and just simmer until tender and delicious, about 45 minutes or so. Lentils are an excellent source of protein, but if you're a vegetarian, they don't have a complete vegetable protein profile. They're actually missing a couple of essential amino acids. But if you're a vegetarian, you know that that's no big deal, that all you have to do is either cook them with a grain or serve them with a grain, in this case, brown rice. And when you do, you get complementary vegetable proteins, the complete vegetable protein profile. In other words, you're never going to miss meat. And because this is my test kitchen, they're done. Try this recipe once. You'll totally see why we think of this as comfort food around here, because you're not going to miss meat. This has this incredible earthy, meaty flavor to it all by itself. Brown rice and lentils, love them. But that's not what I'm having for lunch. That's what I'm talking about. Lentils, get them on your table. Now what?